Hey guys, welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. Today I want to go over one of my new favourite. I've always liked him, but he's become incredibly strong recently, and I really want to play loads of him, and I think you should play loads of him. This character, of course, is Raynor. Now, a lot of people don't like Raynor just because he was one of the first characters they announced. He's one of the first characters you play as. He only really has two active abilities, Q and W, doesn't have an E, we'll get onto that later. He seems weak. He just seems weak. I want to tell everyone that that is wrong. He is not weak. In my opinion, as far as DPS goes, aside from the mages, when you get onto the more all-round assassins, I think he is one of the best ranged assassins in the game. And for the couple of reasons that he can do a surprising amount of CC, he can heal himself for quite a lot, and his damage is just ridiculous for what it is. Like, he can just deal so much damage compared to what other heroes like Tychus and Valor, and he's really on par with them, and he can fit into teams better, so that makes him better, in my opinion. So what I'm going to go over today is I'm going to go over a auto attack build. There's many builds you can do with Raynor. Auto attack is, in my opinion, probably the best. It just fits into a lot of teams really well, but I'm going to do a few more videos on Raynor, and I'm going to go over the other builds. So, with the auto attack build, one of the first tiers you get, the level 1 talent, is actually going to be a toss-up. If you feel you're going to die a lot, if you don't have a tank that you feel can peel for you, or you don't have a healer that you think will heal for you very well, or you just don't think you're going to be in lane that often, like if there's Haunted Mines or Battlefield of Eternity, just a map that doesn't have a very long laning phase, you can take Give Me More. It means that your Adrenaline Rush heals a significant amount more. If anything else, like if you feel you are going to be in lane for a while, you are going to get the heals, you are going to get the peel, and you're just going to need the damage, then go for Seasoned Marksman. I really like Give Me More, particularly if you're going as a solo queue or anything to that extent. So let's go for Give Me More. At the very start of the game, you really need to respect how to use Raynor's abilities. So using Inspire is really good if you capture the minion wave as they're attacking the enemy minion wave. So I'll give you an example of what that looks like just now. And his Q should only be used to either deal damage to the entire minion wave or to poke the opposing hero away if you've got an Illidan or something and he dives on you. So in this situation you can run in, throw Inspire on everyone, and then basically once they're in this position, it's actually surprisingly difficult to get damage off on everything, so if you want, you can kind of step up, get a decent shot off and hit as much as you can. If you're not confident in doing that, you're perfectly fine just to sit back and just auto from far away. As you can see, Raynor's auto distance is ridiculous. It's horrifically strong. I think it's as strong as Nova's. And because of the way penetrating shot works, penetrating round works, the best way to use it, if you're not going to use it for anything else, which a lot of people don't do, I actually think it's quite a good idea not to use penetrating round to clear waves, just to use autos, is you can use it to either knock someone back, again if they dive you or if you're going to get ganked, or to finish off a kill. So if the guys get incredibly low, you're not in auto range, as you can see penetrating round is just a shade over auto range, so you can use it just to get a final, it hits more than an auto, so basically like an auto and a half off and secure a kill. For instance, 1, 2, he's healing, that's annoying, but you can get a few off. And then you can fire Q, and you'll kill him. And again, Raynor doesn't really have that many mana issues, so feel free to throw up Inspire. If you are going to throw up Inspire, you need to make sure you get the autos off immediately following it with the attack speed bonus. You'll clear minion waves a lot more effectively if you take the benefit from it, and your minions take the benefit from it, obviously, and they gain a ridiculous amount as well. So as this game progresses, you're going to find yourself struggling in the lane, particularly against people like Illidan, or Johanna, people that can force you to go under blind effects that will reduce your damage significantly, and then your lane gets shoved and whatever. He's in my experience, he's good if you can get the backup, but he's like most assassins. If you can't get the backup in lane, he just tends to get bullied all over the place. So you're not going to really have that much of an exciting lane phase. He can gank surprisingly well, but that does rely on you landing those penetrating rounds to either secure kills or to put them in positions to get killed. Auto attack build, remember, we're not going for Vampiric Assault because we've gone for Give Me More. Even if you haven't gone for Give Me More, always take Focused Attack. This is going to be kind of one of the essential abilities in this build. So as you can see, it means that your first auto attack on a hero, most of the time, is going to be a crit. And that means that it's going to deal a lot more damage, and in the late game the scale's out of control, like absolutely ridiculously much, and your first hit just chunks people down so much. So again, you're going to want to do the same thing here. As you accelerate towards the mid game, level 7 will come up, you really need to take Revolution Overdrive. If you can take Fight or Flight and all that kind of stuff, yeah, you can do kinds of the other things, but you really shouldn't. And the reason for that is Revolution Overdrive gives you an escape and an engage. So with Raynor's auto attack range, you can step up on people, and when they try and run away, you can pop Revolution Overdrive and get 1, 2, 3, 4 autos off all the time, and really you just kill people. Or you can pop it to run away. It's in my opinion an essential talent for someone who has no inbuilt escapability, no inbuilt mobility at all. You need this talent to make sure that you aren't just like sitting duck. You don't have the range of a mage. You have more range than your standard auto attacker, but you don't have the range of a mage. You need this escape. It is essential. So always take Revolution Overdrive. It is the best talent. A lot of people will say, oh, you can take Penetrate Hamstring Shot, you know, it opens up more kills. Doesn't matter. You need to keep yourself alive and deny them kills more than you need to get kills. That's not the way you win this game when you're playing Raynor in a more conservative manner. At this point, you're going to want to look to get autos off. Your autos will start to hit like a truck now. They'll start to actually try and take you seriously. So look to be poking heroes down whenever you can. When you're queuing up for objectives or something, just make sure you get a couple of autos off. It will just be worth it. If they go a full build to stop you doing your auto attacks, or to stop you doing significant damage with the auto attacks, just counter them by poking them out for objectives and making it incredibly difficult for them to do anything. Remember to continuously use Inspire as soon as you feel that you're going to get a few autos off. Like if someone overextends into your team and you're at the back line and they can't escape very well because they're being body blocked or something, or they've used all their escape abilities, Inspire, auto, and they'll just start to take serious amounts of damage. Ults only ever take Hyperion. Raynor's Raid is kind of cool, but with the AoE and the mages that are in the game at the moment, they just get killed. So I think Hyperion's incredibly good. It means that Raynor has actually got some surprisingly useful pushing potential. And so a couple of pro tips you can do with Raynor just regarding the penetrating round shot. You can have an auto. You shoot an auto and damage him, and then you can use your Q as the other auto fires, and the Q will land, and the auto will kind of land half second afterwards. It's a weird kind of travel time. It's almost like a slow auto that you see on maybe Jaina or someone. It kind of homes in on them after a while, but it works, and you can get basically a free auto off in this regard. And that can secure you quite a lot of kills. Raynor has quite a surprisingly difficult time finishing off enemy heroes. The best thing I would do is I would have the Q on them at all times, and as soon as they start to run away, if you're at max range, just use it on them. You'll just get a load of kills like that. If they're running away, shoving them further away isn't too much of a big deal, unless your team is collapsing on them. That's why you need to be very careful when you use penetrating round, and only use it if you know you're going to get the kill, or if you're saving someone's life. At level 10, use Hyperion. Use it before any team fights to secure objectives, to secure map position, to secure an advantage. Whatever. Just use it in that situation, just to kind of make sure that you have more of an advantage going into a fight. At this stage, you're going to become a fairly big threat, so the enemy team will either have to deal with you or perish. At this point, you will become a massive threat because you can take Giant Killer. What this means is that you can stand right at the back of your team and you can just start chunking down the enemy tanks without even thinking about it. Like, you are dealing so much damage to their tanks that it's almost impossible for them to do anything. And at this point, like after you've been on them for a few seconds, they have no tank, and then that just means they just get completely wrecked. If they have zero tanks, and then just up until now, all of these talents apart from level 1 have kind of been essential. At level 13, you can kind of do a few other things, maybe, yeah, you know. So you can take Steel Resolve if you're really desperate, or you can take Penetrating Round again if you're really desperate. The problem with that is the double-barreled is that the Penetrating Round knocks them out of range of the second Penetrating Round, so you need to move to get into position to hit them with the second one. It works, but it's a little bit clunky and a little bit awkward. A Relentless Leader, just no. No. I mean, it's Relentless for an assassin, which is normally pretty good, but if you're getting stunned or slowed, you're probably going to die anyway, so there isn't too much of... You shouldn't be getting stunned in the first place, so I don't really like that one. Giant Killer is going to be your friend here. It will actually provide quite a bit of damage against people like Sonya and Thrall. You'll be surprised how much damage it does against people like that. So yeah, I would take it. I think it's really, really, really very good. And then towards the level 16 talents, this is where things get slightly interesting. So basically, I'm going to take you through what each of these talents do. I'm actually going to turn off minions for this. I'm going to take you through what each of these talents do and when you would use them, when it is best to use them, when it is not best to use them. So Executioner. You take this when your team has a ridiculous amount of CC in the form of slows, roots, or stuns. This can come from a Muradin, or a Leoric, or any hero that has a ridiculous amount of slows and stuns. Even if you're going with like a multi-shot Valor with the slow and the multi-shot, Execution is going to be good. But you need to make sure that they are getting slowed almost the entire time that you are attacking them. Otherwise, it's not worth it. You can also take Berserk, which when stacked with your Inspire means that your auto attacks are dealing so much damage and no one can escape from you because you have the movement speed. And again, if you pop Inspire while you're using this, because they both the Berserk lasts 4 seconds, Inspire lasts for 6. So for a little while, you will be moving for 20% increased movement speed and attacking for 70% faster. Yeah, you attack really fast. Combine that with Giant Killer, tanks are just going to get absolutely melted, and it is a good one. You can take it. look at taking it. But again, if you're only sure that you're going to be able to sit at the back line and just deal incredible amounts of damage to anyone. If you're not, and your team really does lack on CC in securing kill potential, look at getting Bullseye. The 1.5 second stun is really long. It feels like an absolute age when you land it on someone. It can interrupt abilities like Strafe, like Pyroblast. You can save people's lives doing it. You can secure kills doing it. And it's just good. You're going to use your Q to secure a lot of kills, so getting Bullseyes is a very good one. But yeah, it really is going to be situational for what each game that you are in. If you are in doubt, I would take Bullseye, just because you're always going to benefit from an additional stun. You might not benefit from an additional against slowed, and Berserk you might just die straight away and not ever get to use it. So if you are in doubt, take Bullseye, but look to use all of them. I'm going to take Bullseye just because I like having stuns. Towards this stage of the game, you really are going to want to start just auto-attacking enemy heroes whenever you get the chance. If they come into your range, you need to auto them at least once. If you can get 2 autos off, that is incredibly good. If you can get any more than that, it's just bonus, and bonuses are just really good. Use your W to make sure that you get the movement speed up when you're sure you're going to get a few autos off. As you can see, like, you can just chunk down tanks like this, and there's nothing they can do to stop you. Then as soon as you start running, you can get a couple of stutter step shots off. And if you get the Q and W, I could finish this off with a Q, but I don't want to in case I don't get the kill or in case there's something else. So you can use your W to chase them down, and it's relatively low cooldown, 10 seconds. 10 seconds, 10% increased movement speed at minimum. You'd be surprised how many kills you secure or get away from kills using it. So you just want to be autoing any hero that gets in range. As usual with playing an auto attack hero, you want to stay at the back, make sure that you stay alive, and then whenever no one's attacking you, whenever no one can get to you, you need to just turn around and start autoing. Don't press forward to get kills. That is the job of your tanks or someone else. It's not your job to get there. Your job is to get them incredibly low, incredibly quickly. And what Raynor is incredibly good at. If obviously it is the last person on the enemy team and they are getting incredibly low, incredibly quickly, you can just fire out a Q or even an R to try and get a kill or something. But other than that, you really should be trying to let the other members of your team do that job. And then you want to continue doing this until the late game, and at level 20 you want to pick up Nexus Frenzy. That is the only one you want to pick up. Bolt with the Storm, if you're really getting dived and you're really having a hard time doing anything, then maybe take Bolt with the Storm. But Nexus Frenzy is so strong. I'll give you an idea of how strong it is. So this is the range on Raynor with Nexus Frenzy. I'm attacking the fort here. From here. From like the gate, I'm attacking the fort. It's almost as long as his Q range. It's actually longer than his Q range, I think, just a touch longer. That's how far it goes. It's incredibly far. You can sit at the back and just go attack, 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 and the attack increased speed is actually really good for you if you stack it up with Giant Killer, because Giant Killer is a flat percentage, so the more often you attack is better than dealing more damage. So having attack speed is considerably better, and attack range makes it so good. So Nexus Frenzy is just so good. So to take you through in the early game, you want to stay back, try and get some wave clears using your Q and your W to really make efficient use of your minions and make efficient use of your abilities to damage their minions. If you are unawares or if you are a little bit cautious, don't be afraid to use Q to make sure that you survive a gank. As you gain your talents, you can be a little bit more aggressive, and your autos will start to deal a little bit more value per hit. So like your first auto is obviously going to be a crit, and that's going to deal a big hit, which is going to be a lot of use to you. And your Inspire is going to get not more powerful, but your minions are going to get slightly stronger, so it's going to become more use, and the game's going to become more fragmented. So starting a shove earlier is going to be really nice. In the mid game, you're gonna want to start just sitting behind your tanks. Your tanks are your best friend. Sit near your healers as well. You need to be very mindful of where your team is. A fragmenting team fight isn't necessarily bad for you, but it's not necessarily good either, because it means that you can chase down kills, but it also means that you have the possibility of getting punished more. As I say, you don't really, as a rule of thumb, want to be chasing down kills. So in skirmishes, you want to just try and run away. Get as many autos off as you can. Use your W to ensure you get away, and use your Q as well if you're really in trouble. You shouldn't really be getting caught out. In any situation, you have one good escape ability and 1 good prevent ability, so you really shouldn't be getting caught out too often. If you are getting caught out, just stick with the team. And in team fights, you want to be dealing basically the mantra you want to use is you want to stay on your side of the map behind your tank, and only attack things that you are in range of. And that's where the Nexus Frenzy really starts to come in, because you're going to continue to do this until the end of the game. So the fact that you can attack from this far away is so unbelievably strong. Don't be afraid to let them come up on you a little bit, like take 1 or 2 steps maybe, and of course you can always use your Q to create that distance once more, and then you can put your W to run away, so you can buy a lot of time, and in that time you're just going to be dealing so much damage to them. So don't be afraid to do that, but as a rule of thumb, you want to stay behind your tanks and only attack things that you are in range to attack. Do not try and step up beyond your tank or even into your front line where your supports, if you have a melee support, or your melee assassins will be. Don't even slightly go there. You will be punished instantly for it, and you will die, and you will wonder why you die and why your team didn't help you, because it looks like your team doesn't help you, but in reality you've just overextended what you should be doing. So that's how you want to do. It's always better to get one person on their team incredibly low and force them out of the team fight, and you stay at mid to high health. Of course, using Adrenaline Rush cleverly is going to be good for doing that. Than you stepping forward, getting someone incredibly low, securing that kill, but then you dying as well, because you're going to be dealing so much damage. It's almost always going to be more beneficial for you to stay alive. Using your ult is going to come down to, don't cast it into a wall. I see too many people seeing a team fight and casting it that way. No, come around and cast it this way, down the map, down their escape route, or even behind them, towards them, and again down the escape route like this. See how it covers that much of the lane, like this. Not like the amount of people I see that come in from top and they cast it like this. I'm just like, why have you done that? That does nothing. That does, like, oh look, it's already out of range. Whereas if you just take 2 seconds to reposition, you can get a really nice angle on it and really do some good stuff with it. So, bear in mind that Adrenaline Rush has a 45-second cooldown, but it can be used cleverly to basically act as a free healing fountain for you. Don't do this, ever. The only time you should ever do this is if you absolutely know that you can survive. You are 100% sure that you can survive if you are literally like... I'll give you an example if I can just quickly run back to tower. So if you are like here, in your here, and you know that there's like a Nova or someone and the auto is going to take you into... it's not going to kill you, but it's going to put you in Adrenaline Rush range. Take the auto and then run back and then take the heal, and then but you have to make sure that nothing big's no team fight's going to happen in 45 seconds. There won't be a team fight. If you can guarantee that, then sure, use it. But other than that, don't use it. Forget you have it. You'll just survive a team. You'll just survive something you shouldn't survive. Just forget it exists, and you'll do fine. Don't try and use it cleverly. If you are going to use it cleverly, do not try and use it cleverly past level 7. You'll just die in a team fight, and that will just be awful. Yeah, use his abilities wisely. The thing about Raynor that will really get you down is his cooldowns. The fact that he has incredibly strong basic attacks obviously doesn't really affect this. Yeah, have fun with him. He's one of the he's seems very easy to learn, very difficult to master as a hero, which he is. But he's incredibly fun. Of course, he is one of the original heroes in Heroes of the Storm. He's the first hero you play as. I think he's incredibly strong. I think he's actually one of the strongest heroes in the game at the moment, and win rates back that up. He has the highest win rate in Master and Diamond League, I'm pretty sure, at the moment across all heroes. That just shows you just how strong he is and how much the game can benefit from a very strong basic attacker. This isn't his only build. There are other builds, and I'm going to go over those a little bit in more detail soon. And yeah, I'm going to do more videos on just how to play this style of assassin. But for a general kind of way of how to do this build, this is how you do it. Follow it closely, be cautious, be conservative. Don't try and do anything. Don't try and be a hero. No big plays. No big plays. You sit back at base, you get a few autos off, and you'll do fine. Thanks for watching. I have been Mr. G. Really hope you try out Raynor, and I'll see you next time.